But tonight we're going to start standing because we're going to have a lot of juicy stuff at the end. So go ahead and come to the top of your mat and take a moment grounding into your feet, moving through the body naturally, doing anything that feels good, anything that feels natural. So usually my classes are very embodied with lots of choice, but tonight it's going to be especially so. I want to reiterate that everything is an invitation, and invitations can be accepted or declined. So please listen to your body. Do what you feel is speaking to you, even if it's something that's different than what I'm doing. I welcome you to spread the toes on the mat. Allow the feet to take up space. Maybe you find a sway. Maybe you place one hand over the chest and one over the belly, or maybe you take the hands to heart center. Find a position for the arms that suits you. Noticing if you're moving, if you're swaying, noticing the weight shifting on your feet. Do the toes lift or do they stay grounded? There's no right or wrong. Maybe your eyes are open or maybe they're closed. And let's start scanning through the body. Option to continue swaying like this, or maybe you prefer to find stillness. Just begin noticing how your physical body feels. Your muscles, your bones, your ligaments and joints. So through this series, we're going to go through the koshas. And the koshas are sheaths. From gross to subtle, starting tonight with the Anandamaya kosha, which is our physical body, also known as the food body because it requires food. So just notice, how does your physical body feel in this moment? Do you have any aches or pains? Do you have any areas that need a little bit of love, a little bit of attention? And we'll take 2 more breaths here. Maybe you take a conscious breath in, sending that down into the belly. And a conscious breath out. 1 more at your own pace. Releasing the arms down to the sides if they aren't already. We're going to take some fluid movement here, some half sun salutations. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. Big stretch here, really elongating through the spine. On your exhale, go ahead and take a forward fold. Maybe you bend into the knees. We're going to set a different pace tonight. We're definitely going to move the body, but we're going to move in a way that is curious. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Maybe you place the hands on the shins. Maybe you keep the fingertips on the floor. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root into the feet and rise. Reaching the arms all the way up. Good. Exhale, take a dive right back down. Find your halfway lift with your inhale. Exhale to fold. If your hamstrings are tight, explore a micro bend in the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, take a dive. Find your halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Take a moment here. If it feels good, you might even cross the arms into one another and sway from side to side. Or maybe you trace the fingertips on the floor, creating a rainbow or kind of like a finger painting on the floor. How's your body feeling? How's your lower back feeling? How are your hamstrings feeling? Tonight, it's all about rooting down and unraveling. So we're rooting down into the body with this embodied movement, this conscious and aware movement, and we are unraveling by taking up space. If you're swaying, go ahead and find stillness. Plant the hands on the floor, and we're going to find our way into a tabletop. So go ahead and release one knee to the floor, and then the other. And we're going to meet in a child's pose. Toes to touch back behind you. We're going to root the hips over the heels. Walk the hands out, releasing the head and the heart to the floor. And if it doesn't feel safe or comfortable to release your forehead to the floor, you could even stack your fists on top of one another and place them right underneath the chin to keep your gaze up. Let's take a deep breath in here. Big exhale out. 2 more, just like that. Tapping into your own breath, your own rhythm here. Being curious about what your body is asking for and responding to. With your next inhale, I welcome you to lift the gaze and draw the elbows back, planting them on the floor, right underneath your shoulders. So the bottom half of our body is still in a child's pose position. And this top portion, our hands are palm face down on the mat, fingers spread nice and wide, elbows shoulder distance apart. And with your inhale, go ahead and draw the heart space forward, gaze is forward, opening up through the chest. And on your exhale, round it back, tucking the chin and the tailbone to your desired area. Finding a fluid movement here with your breath. You set the pace. You know your body best. We'll take a couple more. Maybe you choose to stay in one version or another, or one posture or another for a little bit longer, depending on what you need. With your next inhale, take your time coming into a tabletop. So we're pressing the hips forward, adjusting the knees underneath the hips if they were set a little bit wider, walking the hands forward by one hand's width. Tucking the toes, we're finding our first down dog of the evening. So when you're ready, inhale, lift the hips, lift the knees, and shift the hips back, extending through the shoulders, planting the hands on the floor. Maybe you keep your knees bent to start. Walking the feet out, so releasing one heel to the floor and then the other. And if the hamstrings are feeling particularly tight tonight, you might take the feet as wide as the mat, taking a wider stance. And just a reminder that that child's pose we just took is something that you can return to at any time. No permission needed. Your body, your choice. So continue moving organically through your down dog. Maybe you have a little tail wag. Maybe you take a little bit of a side stretch, dropping the heels over to one side and then the other. We'll be here for one more full breath. Inhale and exhale. And find stillness. Releasing the heels down to the floor. Inhale, bend the knees, and then take the gaze to the top of the mat. We're stepping forward into a forward fold, so maybe that's one big step or a bunch of small steps. Either way, I'll meet you here at the top of the mat. Inhale for your halfway lift when you're ready for it. Exhale for your fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way up. And hands come down to heart center. Checking in, noticing how you feel just a few minutes into class compared to when we started. All right, let's start warming up the body a little bit. Gentle reminder that you can always decline the invitation. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to take a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale for your fold. Plant the hands on the mat. And when you're ready, send the right foot back. We're coming into a low lunge, so we're dropping the right knee down onto the mat. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Option to also keep the hands planted if you prefer. And now here, I want to welcome you into taking any arm variation that best suits you right now. So maybe it's stillness, maybe it's here, reaching the arms up, elongating through the spine, or maybe it's a cactus, maybe it's releasing the hands down to the hips or heart center, or maybe it's this fluid movement, moving in and out. Any fluid movement if you'd like to take it. This feels good for me tonight. Moving with your breath. We'll be here for another 2 or 3 breaths. Being curious about what you selected and why you selected it. Did you feel like you had to do that? Or does it feel good in your body? Does it bring joy? Good. I'll meet you with our arms reached up toward the ceiling. We'll find an inhale. And then exhale, release the hands down to the floor. We'll take another breath in here. And then on your exhale, lengthen through the front leg, allowing the left toes to peel up off of the mat. And we're gonna come in and out of this. So our inhale will take us forward. Our exhale will take us back. If you have those blocks and you'd like a little bit of length underneath the arms, you could use those here, placing your hands on the block right underneath the shoulder blades. Finding your rhythm for one more breath. Good. I'll meet you in a lunge, planting the hands on the mat, tucking the back toes, lifting up on the back knee, and we're going to send the left foot back. Option here for a high plank or drop the knees for a low plank. Wherever you're at, we're taking a breath in. Exhale, maybe you lower all the way down to the belly, or maybe you hover in a chaturanga, your choice. When you get to the floor, we'll inhale, open up through the heart space for a cobra, only going as far as you want to go. And exhale, press it back, and we'll meet in a down dog. Big breath in here. Exhale out of the mouth when you get there. Good. Taking the right foot and drawing it straight forward, shifting the shoulders over the wrists and planting the right foot on the floor, dropping the back knee, low lunge on this side. Option to keep the hands planted, or maybe you lift off. Taking a big breath in. Finding your preferred arm placement or movement here. It doesn't have to be the same as it was on the other side. You could find stillness. You could find rhythm wherever you're at. And breathe. Find your breath. For 2 more breaths. Exhale. And we'll meet back in our low lunge, back in stillness, planting the hands on the floor, taking a breath in. On your exhale, elongate through the right leg, right toes peel up. We're on the right heel. And start moving in and out at your own pace. Or maybe you prefer to just stay in stillness. Maybe you prefer to just focus on the right hamstring. What does your body want right now? Two more breaths. I'll meet you in a low lunge, planting the hands, tucking the back toes, lifting up on the back knee. We're going to step the left foot forward. Forward fold. Your feet could be together or they could be hip distance apart. I like to have a little bit of space, but the choice is yours. When you're ready for your halfway lift, take a breath in and lengthen. Exhale when you see fit. I'll meet you in a rise, all the way up to the ceiling. Hands come down to heart center. Good. Okay. We're going to take our right foot and just cross it over our left. But any time when we're moving in this next part of the sequence that you feel like having your legs crossed is compromising your balance, feel free to just uncross them. You can still do everything that we're about to do without the crossed ankles. But if you're curious to give it a try, go ahead. All right, let's inhale, reach it up. On your exhale, we're going to fold. Now notice, if this posture feels really intense here, it might help to add a micro bend into the knees. Let's go ahead and walk the fingers over to the right. Maybe it's just a little bit, maybe it's a lot. And notice the outside of the left leg, where your IT band is. How does that feel? So it's kind of like, if you don't know where the IT band is, it feels like it's the side of your thigh, the side of your quad. And you should be feeling it right in the middle of the side of your left quad. Check in on your breath. How's it moving? With your next inhale, go ahead and lift the gaze. We're going to walk the hands back to center. Take a breath out. Our inhale will rise us all the way up. Good. Go ahead and grab onto your right wrist. We're going to send our arms over to the left. Nice lateral side stretch. Taking a breath into the right ribs, the right side body. Our inhale takes us back up. Good. And then as you uncross your legs, we're going to step it out nice and wide. I'm going to need to move my blanket. Really taking up space here. Our toes are facing out. Our heels are facing in. Kind of creating like this really wide V if you were to look down at your feet. It's like a nice wide stance. Pivoting outward. Good. Inhale. If you'd like, you could reach the arms up or maybe take a different arm variation. But here, we're taking up space. Unraveling. And so even taking a breath in, on your exhale, go ahead and wrap your arms around yourself in a hug. Inhale slowly at your own pace, unravel. Exhale, change the cross of your arms, wrap it around. Inhale to unravel. Allow yourself to take up all of the space around you. No apology. Good. Let's take another breath in. On your exhale, bring your hips down toward either your hips or maybe your quads, and let's sink down into a goddess. So we're lowering the hips down. And find either a rhythm here, maybe moving left to right, maybe you move in and out of it, maybe you find stillness. What would you like to do here? Your body, your choice. We'll be here for another 2 breaths. And as we're here, if you're curious, you could place your hands on your thighs and feel the engagement of your muscles. Notice the contraction, the strength. What does that sensation feel like for you? Good. We'll take a breath in and lengthen through the legs. We're going to take the toes parallel to one another. So we're going to go ahead and face the toes straight ahead of us. Heels straight behind us. We have 2 parallel lines, staying in this nice wide stance. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. On your exhale, left arm comes down to the left leg, reaching the right arm over, like you're trying to reach for the sky or the ceiling, whatever is above you, but at an angle. Noticing the engagement in your quads. Ooh, I have a leg cramp, so I'm just gonna shake it out real quick. Okay, last breath. Big breath into the right ribs. Exhale takes us right back out. Heel toe your feet back together. Good. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take your fold. Let's neutralize the spine. Your inhale finds your halfway lift. Whatever that looks like for you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're rising all the way up. Feet are rooted. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Left foot crosses over the right. Remember that it's optional. Did you like the cross on the other side, or were you not really about it? What does your body need? Big breath in, reaching the arms up. Exhale for your fold. When you're ready, fingertips crawl on over to the left. Feeling for that juicy stretch in the side of the right thigh. Maybe even checking in on the right ribs. How does that feel there? What kind of sensations are present? I welcome you into taking one big breath into where you're feeling that opening. And a big exhale out. Inhale to lift the gaze. We're going to walk the hands back to center. Good. Exhale. And inhale to rise. Grasping onto our left wrist. Exhale over to the right. So we're opening up the left side body. Finding our breath. Our feet are rooted. We're taking up space. No apology. Big breath in to come back to center. And take the left foot, uncross it, and big step out to the side. Toes are out, heels are in. Star pose. Good. Inhale. Exhale, wrap it around. Inhale, if you want to unravel, go ahead and take that now. Exhale, change the cross of your arms. and inhale. Good. Let's find stillness here. Maybe your arms are elongated, nice and strong. Maybe you're bending at the elbows. Maybe you're out to a T. What allows you to best take up space here? One more breath in. And exhale, let's sink into our goddess. Your choice of arm movements, your choice of static hold in your base, or fluid movement. Where are you at right now with your body? What do you need? Wherever you're at, I invite you to bring attention to your feet, noticing the tactile connection between you and what's supporting you. Imagining that there's roots coming out of your feet, sinking down into your mat. You are rooted. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, lengthen through the legs. Toes come forward. We're creating that parallel line. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. On your exhale, right hand comes to the right leg, and we're reaching over with the left. Check in on the engagement in your legs. Maybe they're just hanging out. Or maybe you could create a sensation by engaging the thighs, rooting the feet down, breathing into the left lung. Send your breath there. One more breath. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, we're rising all the way back up. Heel toeing our feet back together. And go ahead and shake the shoulders out. Move through the hips. All right. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take a fold. When you're ready for your half lift, take it. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands, take one foot back and then the other. High or low plank. Maybe you completely skip the vinyasa if that's what your body needs tonight, or maybe you take a child's pose, your choice. Exhale, maybe you hover or lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale for cobra, or hover the hips for upward facing dog. Exhale, engage the belly, shift it back. I'll meet you in downward facing dog, and if you're in child's pose, feel free to stay there for as long as you like. We're going to take 3 breaths here, if that feels welcome to your body. Two more breaths. Maybe you exhale out of the mouth. Last one. Biggest breath you've taken all day. And inhale, take the gaze forward, bend the knees, and we're drawing the knees all the way down to the floor, and then shifting our hips back. Okay. So we're gonna take a cross-legged posture. So if you want a blanket, I know I do, go ahead and grab that. And when you come into it, we're going to take the right leg in front, left leg behind. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, unraveling the spine, taking up space. And if you feel like you're having a difficult time finding a tall spine here, it could help to take your hands to the floor next to your hips, so a little bit back behind you. Take a breath in and sink the fingertips into the floor, reach the spine up, elongate through the back of the head. Another big breath in. And then on your exhale, start to draw the chest forward, keeping that elongation in the spine. So we're not rounding into it just yet. Walk your hands forward to wherever it feels best for you. So it might be really close to the body. It might be farther out ahead. And then when you feel like you've hit that sweet spot, go ahead and round your spine into it. Sinking into it. Allowing your head to completely rest and fall forward, allowing each muscle along the spine to release its engagement. Noticing the sensation in the right glutes and the right hip. And let's check in on the breath. How is your breath moving? You might even notice where it's moving in your body. Maybe it's in the shoulders or the chest, or maybe the belly. And if it feels like you're having a hard time taking a full breath in this shape, then I'd invite you to take a breath into the back of your lungs. So send your breath as if you're breathing into your spine. Notice how that feels. With your next inhale, I invite you to lift the gaze, to look at the hands, and then we're walking the hands over to the left. Continuing to anchor the glutes down, so your sits bones, whatever you're sitting on, anchoring the bottom half of your body down onto the floor, staying rooted, and allowing the movement to come from your spine and your upper body. Can you notice where you're feeling the sensation of the stretch? Can you pinpoint it in your body? And then when you do, I invite you to take a couple breaths to that area. So imagine that you're breathing directly into that spot where you feel the stretch. One more breath. With your next inhale, we can lift our gaze, walk our hands back to center, and then back toward us. Taking your time coming up, you might feel a little dizzy or lightheaded. And then taking our hands back behind us, unraveling the legs, taking the feet nice and wide, planting the feet on the floor, and then shifting the knees over to one side and then the other, finding your own pace. You can go fast, you can go slow. What feels good here? Last one. We'll meet back at center. We'll cross our legs again, this time left leg in front. We'll find our tall spine with a big breath in. And on your exhale, draw the chest forward, elongating through the spine, leading with the heart, walking your hands in front to wherever works for you. And then when you find that spot where you want to stay, go ahead and round into it, releasing the spine, releasing the head and the shoulders. Allow even the arms to relax and sink into the floor, rooting your sits bones and your glutes down to your mat. How does this side feel different than the previous side? I invite you to become curious and notice where you're feeling the sensation in your body of this stretch, of this side of the body, and meeting it like you've never met it before, because the two sides of our bodies really are different. We do not use our body the same way on both sides. We don't even have the same organs on each side of the body. So how does this side feel? As if you're meeting it for the first time. Big breath in. Big breath out. With your next inhale, take the gaze up to look at the fingertips, and we're walking the hands over to the right. Continuing to root down into your seat, allowing the movement to come from the spine and the upper body. Invitation to place your awareness on where you're feeling the stretch and send your breath there. Kind of like you have a little pair of lungs right where you're feeling that opening and you're breathing into those lungs. Two more breaths. With your next inhale, lift the gaze, walk the hands back to center, and then toward you. Take your time. Slowly coming up and staying here for a moment. Notice how your breath is moving without doing anything to alter it. Can you tune in to your heart rate? And now can you tune into where your hands are resting, either on your lap or maybe somewhere else? And now notice what is supporting you. Where does your body meet what is supporting you? That tactile touch. Taking another scan through the body, noticing how you feel now compared to when we started. And then in your own time, if your eyes are closed, you could take them open again. And we have a couple options here. So we're going to move into our pranayama portion of class, our breathwork portion. Option 2, stay here in a seated posture if this is where you are comfortable. We are eventually going to move into a guided meditation. So if you know that you're going to want to rest on the floor for that. And then immediately after the guided meditation, we're going to move into Shavasana. So the breath work that we're doing tonight, you could totally do laying on your back, but you have choices. So you could stay seated up, you could move to your back. Whatever best suits you. I'm going to go ahead and come onto my back because that works for me. And if you do come onto your back, then go ahead and take a moment to pull your knees in toward your chest. Maybe you rock from side to side and release your lower back. And then you could either plant your feet on the floor as wide as the mat, and then allow your knees to cave in toward one another so that the hip flexors can release. Or you could stretch the legs out long. Totally up to you. Maybe there's a different version of this shape that you really like. Please find that now. So we're going to explore a 3-part breath tonight. And there's going to be layers to it. So there's going to be a point when you decide, I'm good here, I'm just going to keep doing this, and I don't want any more. And that's okay. I want you to really pay attention to when that point comes and give yourself permission to stay there in that space. Staying in the space that serves you. And if you're curious for more, have more. I'm going to give you a couple different options. And if you try it and you decide, not really about it, then please feel free to go back to what did serve you. So option here to place one hand over the belly, one hand over the chest, allowing the elbows to continue resting on the floor. And just allow the breath to move in and out. Taking stock here, noticing which of your hands is moving. Is the hand over the belly moving with the belly? Is the hand over the chest moving with the chest? Or is there an oscillation or both moving at certain points of the breath? With your next exhale, I invite you to fully release your lungs. So really bottom out the breath. Blow all the air out. And when you're ready for your inhale, send your breath down into your belly, like you are expanding your belly up toward the ceiling. Slow exhale out of the nose. Take your time. We'll find another breath in through the nose. There's no race here. Please allow your breaths to be slow and sweet down into the belly. And this time check in on the ribs. Are the ribs expanding outward, or are they just kind of staying where they're at? And if they're staying where they're at, could you help them with your next inhale to expand outward? Even if you have to engage those side muscles there. Inhaling into the belly, inhaling into the ribs, slow exhale. Repeating the process. And then moving your breath up into the chest. So belly, ribs, chest with your next inhale. Noticing that the hand over the heart lifts. Slow exhales. Option to stay here, breathing into the belly, the ribs, and the chest, and then taking just a complete exhale out of the nose. Or if you are curious to add on, same thing, you could start by breathing into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And then on your exhale, see if you can reverse the motion. So exhale out of the chest, and then the ribs, and then the belly. Kind of like a wave, moving in and then moving out. So if you're exhaling the opposite way, release it out of the chest first. and then the ribs, and then the belly. Full exhale out, either way, whichever exhale that you're on, taking that full breath out, really emptying so that you can fill up again. We're going to take another 5 breaths in whichever version you have chosen for yourself. Three more breaths. Last one. Option to return to your natural breathing. And if you'd like to take any adjustments here to the shape that your body is in, please do so. Maybe releasing the arms, palms face up, resting them on the floor, maybe stretching the legs out, or taking any adjustments here that will allow you to completely sink down into the mat and release your body. Take your time, making sure that you are as supported and as comfortable as possible. And when you start to settle in, I invite you to take another body scan. Is there anywhere that your muscles are still holding on to? Is there any engagement still happening? Checking in on the feet, moving up the legs. And if you find a spot in the body as you scan that you're having a hard time letting go of, then please contract that muscle and then exhale to release it. Notice what that does. Continue to move up the legs to the belly and the chest, checking in. How do you feel? Is there anywhere else that we could soften? Checking in on the back body, the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Moving up into the neck. Unclenching the jaw and allowing the tongue to float up to the roof of the mouth, if possible. The back of the head, and then finally the face. Softening that spot in between the eyebrows, softening the cheeks and the forehead. Taking a full breath out with your next exhale. A big breath in, all the way into the belly. Big exhale out of the mouth when you get there. And returning to your natural breath. Noticing how your body feels here. Allowing yourself to completely unravel. Take up space without apology. Begin to bring to mind someone you love deeply. This could be a person or a pet. Someone that you are incredibly grateful for. And as you bring their image to the front of your mind, allow the sensation of love for them and gratitude to begin to completely envelop your whole body. Maybe it starts small at the center of your chest. And as you think about how much you love this person or this pet, as you think about how much they do, how grateful you are for them, what a difference that their life, their existence has made on you. Allow that feeling of love and gratitude to grow. Notice, what does this feel like in your body? Taking this love and gratitude, noticing how it begins to expand, or maybe it stays in one place. Where do you feel it in your body? And how does it feel? Is it warm? Is it buoyant? Is it grounded? Expansive? Soft and tender? Or maybe powerful? Allow this feeling to grow even more, even bigger. If it's already spanned your entire body, maybe it begins to overflow, taking up space, unraveling outward, spilling out into the space around you, even more. This deep love and gratitude. What does it feel like now? Continue to hold this feeling in your body, remembering that it was created in your body to begin with. And shift the attention of this feeling from that person or pet that you have in mind to yourself. Bathing your body, your heart, your thoughts in this feeling, this love and this gratitude, directing it right back to you. Noticing what comes up here. Is there any resistance? Or is this effortless? With a gentle reminder to practice this without judgment. There is no right or wrong. It's just simply your experience. And as you shift this love and gratitude to yourself, noticing how it continues to grow, ebb and flow, or shift, I invite you to begin to list things that you love or appreciate about your body. Specifically, your body, the physical layer, our anandamaya layer, the muscles, the skin, the fat, the joints, the organs, bones, Maybe you only list one thing, or maybe your list is very long. Wherever you're at with this, continue to bathe yourself in that love and gratitude. I invite you to stay in this place as long as you like. Or if you're ready to detach from the meditation and shift into Shavasana, I welcome you to take a big breath in and out, signaling that you're shifting into a different state. Allowing your mind to move into this place of rest. Maybe you stay with that sensation of love and gratitude and just let it be there with you, or maybe you just let go completely. Allowing each part of your body to sink into what is supporting you, continuing to take up space, continuing to unravel. Shavasana. With your next inhale, slowly begin to notice your body resting in whatever shape you're in. Taking one more check-in. Maybe taking this loose kind of scan throughout the body, or just this overall feeling, just noticing overall how you feel in this moment in your physical body. And because you are in the comfort of your own home, you can stay in this place as long as you like. But if you're ready to begin slowly making your way out of Shavasana, I invite you to maybe trace the fingertips along the thumbs, or move through the feet, slowly increasing the size of your movements. Possibly even working your way up into a full body stretch. And if you're lying on your back, you could begin to make your way onto one side of the body, resting in the fetal position for a moment. And then when you're ready to press yourself up, I'll meet you in any seated posture. And when you get there, option to bring your hands to heart center, or maybe you place one hand over the heart and one over the belly. And we'll end with a collective breath, starting with exhaling the air completely out. Big breath in. Exhale out of the mouth. Thank you so much for taking time to root and unravel tonight. I hope that this class served you well. Thank you.